Okay, so hello once again, everybody. So I know a lot of you now know who we are, but there are still newcomers. So just to present, this is Marie, and I am Mark. And usually we can say known at M&M, like the sweet. And so we are very happy to see you again. That's already the 10th webinar of our series of 14. And today it will be the occasion to present a few activities about numeracy, Braille numeracy. If we start with 1 minute to discover the website, you know, when we go to the activity section. So tonight it will be about Braille activities. And if you go at the down, you go to the down of the page, you have all the activity groups about Braille. So you know Braille is about to recognize each character, to be able to make words, and also to make operations. So that's why you have character literacy and numeracy, and that's about assemble characters, play with numbers, and develop the ability to do basic math and geometry also. So as you always know, that's always the same, you have 15 activities. But today I wanted to show you also another way to go to the activity when you are on the main page. If you go in the quick activity finder, you have a search activity. And for example, if you remember that you're looking for an activity called perfect, you just have to write the name perfect, and the activity will, by magic, appear on the screen. So that's this activity that Mary is going to present today.
So it is Perfect 10, and we're going to talk about practice and improve memory, observation and addition skills in a multi-medium activity, understand and follow rules. Just a quick word before we start about this activity. It is a memory game. I'm sure you know a memory game. You play usually with cards, pair of cards, and you try to find the exact same pair. So today we will play with bricks, not cards, and numbers. So to prepare this activity, you need 8 number bricks. So a brick 1, a brick 2, a brick 3, a brick 4, and so on. You don't need a brick number 5. So you will have the 8 number bricks and Play-Doh. And first you need to spread out a large flat piece of Play-Doh or modeling clay. Don't know how you call it or what you have, so just say it is Play-Doh, and you will arrange the bricks upside down in 2 rows on the modeling clay. The aim is to have the bricks so the studs cannot be felt upside down. Why Play-Doh? Why Play-Doh? We could have made this activity with bricks regularly placed on base plate, but remember we always want to have activities for inclusion settings, so we want to be sure that a sighted peer can play with a visually impaired one, and also that you are not able to read the number even with your finger when you go through the base plate to look for bricks. So we really need them to be hidden, so upside down in modeling clay or Play-Doh. That's great. And Play-Doh, we talked a lot about children with tactile defense, and I don't know if you were there and remember, but we said that there is not so much issue with bricks because of their hard
soft.
Yeah, not soft. Sorry. And okay, that's great. So that's great for these children, but maybe sometimes it can be a good opportunity to add another texture, a new texture, and to prepare them to feel something else, something new, something that can leave you on the fingers a texture, oily or greasy thing. So that's why we think it can be a good opportunity to introduce the Play-Doh here. And also, it's a great tool because it prevents the bricks from slipping. And you can print, in fact, if the Play-Doh is thick enough, you can place them the bricks right in the Play-Doh, make a big print, and then you will be able to find the place back again. So that can be really great. Of course, this preparation can be done by the child. That can be great. You roll a ball and you flatten it. Just remember to have it thick enough. And that's a good exercise for strength. They have to measure and practice their force, their strength. So even if they are older than what we expect, and if they work on numeracy, that's also a good opportunity to work on some tactile and physical skills. We have other activities with Play-Doh. We have one called Prints in Play-Doh, where you really play to make some prints with the bricks in Play-Doh. So you are more than welcome to take a look at them also. We can suggest other solution instead of Play-Doh. So you can attach a number brick sign on the base plate to indicate you are working with only numbers, and then you arrange into columns your letter bricks and you hide them with classic bricks on top of them. So that's another solution. A third would be to take a big cardboard and to dig holes in it, so like that you can place your bricks. That can be another solution. I'm sure you will find some more. But you will see that it is important, and in the video we have one of the children will have some trouble with the Play-Doh. Okay, so this is the preparation. Mark is going to take the 8 bricks and place them in 2 rows of 4. So we paid attention to the color of the Play-Doh. It's really good if you can have a color that has a high contrast with the table and also with the bricks. I just remind you that we have white, red, blue, yellow and green. So this is a green, but we also can have an orange, for example, a pink, something you won't mix with the bricks. And about the Let's Play, so it's a classic memory game, but we have other steps. So at the beginning, you turn over, the player 1 turn over 2 bricks and place them in their original spots. Both players will read the number bricks. Both players again will add the number mentally in their heads, and player 1 will keep the bricks if the 2 numbers add up to 10, or replace the bricks in the same place if they do not add up to 10. And we will continue like that, so player 2 will continue the activity following the same instruction. I'm not sure it will be easy for you to play, so maybe we can go to the movie and wait for your turn to play in the second activity today.
Alors c'est parti, première brique, tu en prends une déjà, une seule, et tu nous lis ce qui est écrit dessus.
9.
Donc il a pris 7 briques, 9, d'accord. Ensuite tu en prends une deuxième, 4.
Ah bah non, ça fait pas 10.
Donc tu repositionnes tes 2 briques. Donc la première ici, donc ici on avait le 4, et de l'autre côté, à l'envers aussi, on avait le 9. Alors Noah, à toi.
Alors, 2. Oui, c'est ça. 2 et 3. Ah bah non, ça fait 5. Non, c'est ça que ça fait 3. Je le remets. Alors le 2, il est là-haut. Et le 3, normalement, il allait juste à côté. Je crois toujours que c'est... 4. C'est sûr que tu vas reprendre une.
Et 6.
Si c'est 4-10, oh t'as fait exprès, c'est pas possible.
For me, it's interesting to see that even if Noah is not so young, he has some trouble doing this activity, and we thought at the beginning that the Play-Doh will help for him, but in fact not. He has difficulties to remove the bricks and replace them in the Play-Doh. You saw that he took them apart and then he mixed them up. He could not remember which one was where, so Mark had to help him. He's a clever guy. He's 13, 14?
14.
14, yes, so not so young. But he has some technical issues with his activity, and maybe it's because this medium is not so useful for him. I think also the Play-Doh was too hard and not thick enough. That's why I suggested to really pay attention to the length. And yeah, I think that's one of the problem. But also this activity is not only a memory game, a simple memory game, but a multiple step activity. So that's really what also is not so easy for him. You have to return the brick, to read it, remember the number, choose and turn another one, read it again, and then remember the first one, add it to the second one, check if it is 10 or not, and then put them back both in their place. So that's how we can see that even if we think memory game is easy and it is just to count up to 10, so that's not difficult. They are 14, so I think they can do it. But the multiple steps and the organization makes that it can be interesting for them to play this activity and to work on prerequisites, other skills that it is important for them to work on. So it is spatial skills, memory skills, but fine motor skills like manipulation, tactile, bilateral coordination, and so on. So we did again the activity, but then with not the Play-Doh, but the base plate. And you're gonna pay attention to what Noah says.
Il faut enlever le premier Lego
Ouais.
pour pouvoir lire ce qui est écrit dessous.
Ah, ok. Ah ouais, c'est trop bien ça. Non, ça marche pas. 8 et combien t'as fait? 2 et 8. Ah non, non, 6, ça marche pas. 8 et 2, ah oui, 10.
Donc ça marche, ok.
So even if he lost, he was happy and thought that using the base plate was great. That's what he said. So it was really easier for him to play like that. And he talked a lot about that after and said, maybe I can try again with the Play-Doh. It was the first time, I need to improve. But we said, okay, but it was fine with the base plate. So why don't we use it like that? And we're going to see what we can do next time, or if you still want to have the Play-Doh. I think what is also very interesting is that it is, of course, a social activity. They are both playing together, but they have to pay attention to each other and they have to work together because you have to know exactly what number and when your peer picked up. So I don't know if you see at the beginning with the Play-Doh, they did as they want, so we had to push Noah to go and read the numbers, and we had to tell him you must remember where Elias found them. So that was difficult for him. And after, in the second exercise with the base plate, we suggest him to use the technique hand on hand. So he just put his hand on top of Elias' hand and followed his movement. Remember, we talked about proprioception and kinesthesia, and like that will help him remember and feel where Elias was trying to go and find bricks for the turn after, when he will have to remember where it was and where was that number that he is looking for example. So that can be a great exercise to place his hand on top of his friend's hands and then read just after him the number. So that's why I said it is a very social activity. They need to work together, to play together, and to pay attention to the other, to wait, to be sure that the other has read the number. And I think also it takes a lot of time to do, even if it is simple to just turn two bricks. But yeah, it takes a lot of time. And yeah, and I think we can see some friendship between them, even if one won everything and the other not. Okay, so we have some facilitation tips and possible variation. For example, we talked about the number sign in front of each brick. Usually we have to place number signs in front of each brick. That's not the case here, because at the beginning we talked about that with them, and we said we are using only number bricks. I'm sure you noticed it is French numbers, so we don't have the same way to write numbers as the English way or most of the others, so we don't have the same number bricks. Also, and we use the letter with accents to write the numbers, so that's why it can be. But oh no, I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
used English.
No,
But it was French.
not in
Okay.
the video. it
In
was
the
French.
picture, sorry, in
Yeah.
the picture it is English, but in the activity it was French.
Yeah.
So quite the same, but we have .6 for the number bricks, and we add a .6 in each number. So one, it is .1 and .6. Just to say that. So it can be interesting to explain the kids that we don't use a number bricks, or we can place it in top left of the base plate if we want. We also can talk about their strategy, and that would have been nice to ask Noah, what is your strategy to remember the position of the bricks? Because I'm not sure he has one, but by asking the question, you will help him notice that he doesn't have a strategy, and that maybe it can be helpful, and we can help him to find his own strategy, one which is working well for him and things like that. So that's a good opportunity to suggest things and to improve the experience. And about the variation, we can change the number of bricks, of course, and we can change number to be rich. Multiplication instead of addition. So that's what we did. You won't see it in the video because we didn't have time, but they played again and again this game, and they decided to change the rules. It was multiplication, and also I don't remember exactly what they did, but a lot of things. That was iterative, and they went they came with a lot of ideas. So if we just talk a little bit about the holistic skills during this activity, we have, of course, the cognitive one, calculate with numbers. We have the creative, because really they were creative. They did a lot of things, so they invented varieties of activities with just these bricks and base plate. In fact, they used the Play-Doh at the end. Emotional, we talked about the courtesy behavior, and we had a session before with both of them, because one is really big and has a tendency to sit not so straight, to be just like that, like that. So we explained, you are going to be on the video, so we need you to be straight, and seems to be implicate in what you do. And about Noah, the other guy, he has a lot of blendism. I'm not sure you saw in this video, but in previous one. So he also focused a lot in not moving his head or his hands, and he was really happy at the end because he said, I think my behavior was great in this activity, and you won't see me moving. So that was the occasion for us to talk about that and to talk about what is a movie, what are you going to show to people of your image, and so on. So yeah, that was a great opportunity. And physical, here it is really about learn to pre-plan actions and know what's gonna happen then and how they will do things. Yes. And finally, the did you know about three different kinds of play. Don't know if you remember, the second webinars we had was about facilitation in theory and practice, and Pierre from the Lego Foundation talked about that and explained that guided play can lead to higher gains on literacy, numeracy, social skills and self-regulation skills than instruction or free play alone. So we saw that illustration you have on the screen that explain where it is great to be between the free play and the instruction, and to stick to the guided play games, and this balance between the child choice and the structured lesson. So once again, just a little reminder, that's how we thought of the did you know, to give some quick understanding of learning through play and facilitation. And the last one is a fun activity can create learning environments and empower young children to realize their potential. So I think we can go right through the other activity, and I'm ready to play.
Yeah, so the activity will be, the next activity is called Battle, and it's about identifying relative to the value of the numbers. So it can be a game that we play with cards also, so maybe some of you may know already this game. So just to see the how to prepare, and I would like you at home to prepare, because I said I will need at least 2 people to be ready. So you just need to have one base plate. Even if you don't have the base plate, that's not a problem. But you need to have 12 number bricks, so that means at home you just need to have 6 of them, and 1 number sign brick. And you don't have to do that, but just a few words about number sign. Like as Marie has said, we suggest to place the number sign brick in the top left corner of the base plate to indicate everything on the base plate are numbers. And we are going to go straight to this short video. It's a young lady that she's blind, and she is 18, and she helped us to deal with the youngest one, to play with the bricks. When we were filming, she was playing and presenting them the toolkit.
It's funny for me that you call her a young lady, since we knew her since she was born.
Yeah, but she's a lady now.
Yes, you're right.
And in fact, so she is going to present why it is important to use the number sign. I know that a lot of you know already that, but I also know that there are in the audience a few mainstream teachers that know, we can say, not a lot of things about Braille. So just a very short video.
Les chiffres peuvent représenter soit un chiffre, soit une lettre accentuée. Donc là, je mets l'indicateur mathématique en haut de la plaque. De cette manière-là, toutes les lettres accentuées qui seront posées sur la plaque deviendront des chiffres. Le E accent circonflexe devient 2. Le O accent circonflexe 4. Et le EO lié 9.
And for those of you who are not familiar with French number, you have learned also now to write 3 different numbers. So what is important here with the number sign, in all the activities about when we use number, we are going to say that we will have and need a brick, a number sign brick. That is, we can put it, as I said, on the top left corner, but it cannot be a very good idea every time, because sometimes you want the child to read and to follow the first row and to use everything at the very top of the base plate if you don't want to make the activity too difficult. So you can suggest to put it everywhere in another corner, or just put it in the table, or at the beginning of the activity you can just give the brick to the child so that he will know that now we are dealing with numbers and not letters. And we can say, why don't we respect the correct rules of Braille and put a number sign in front of each number? The first reason is that we don't have enough of them in the box, and it can be kind of boring if we have to look for this number sign every time that we want to deal with numbers. And also another reason why we have chosen to do that is that if you respect the rules, you have to stick the 2 bricks with number sign and the following bricks. And as we have seen in pre-Braille, it can be very difficult to identify what is on a brick when 2 bricks are stuck together. So in fact, it's not useful to complicate things too much, we can say. And they know that the rule exists, that they need to have a number sign, and when they are going to work on paper or on computer, they know, of course, that they will need to use it. So that was, in fact, the reason why we have chosen to deal that way with the number sign. So in the next video, that's the following and the next step, and that's what you can do also at home. In fact, we are going to see Carla and Ryan, that's another boy, he is 14, and they are just going to make two towers with their 6 bricks. So that's why I wanted you to have 6 bricks at home, 6 number bricks. So let's have a look at them. Okay, so what is interesting in this video, I don't know if you have noticed, but they didn't have the same organization, the same strategy to build their tower. One preferred to take all the 6 bricks in his hand and to build the tower directly, like when you're making a construction with your hands, in fact. And Carla was putting and using the base plate and making a tower directly with adding bricks after bricks correctly on the base plate. So in fact, we haven't told them anything. We just told them you have to build a 6 tower brick, and that was their strategy. But that's also something that they are old, we can say, so they have strategy. But sometimes, like Mary says, you have to ask the child, what is your strategy? To just tell them that they have to have a strategy. Sometimes they may not even notice what were their strategy, and that way you can improve their way of building things. So the Let's Play, that's an easy game, but that's what is not easy once again is usually that students they know how to read what is on the brick, and they know if they are learning which one is the highest and so on. So usually they can manage to do this activity easily. But once again, what is difficult here is to organize everything and to have the correct setup. So that's why we have to teach them how to make a tower. That's why what we do usually in the manipulation section, for example. But also they have to understand, like they are playing with cards, they have to put, when they win, they have to put the winning bricks underneath the tower every time. And the one, of course, with all the bricks win the game. So we are now going to see Carla and Ryan playing this game and to see who will win.
Moi j'ai 0.
Donc moi j'ai le 1, donc je te prends ton 0, je mets dessous, et je mets sur ma pile. Ensuite,
Alors moi j'ai le 9.
moi aussi donc bataille, on enlève. Ensuite j'ai le 8,
Moi j'ai le 7.
youpi, donc moi je prends tout. J'ai un 6,
Moi j'ai un 2.
j'ai le 2,
Moi aussi. Pareil.
j'ai un 6,
Et j'ai un 0, donc tu as gagné.
et voilà. Pile de 12 briques.
Carla was very happy, in fact, to win and to take all the bricks, even if she is 18, so that was nice to see. And just also one very important thing in this activity, but in all the activity, generally speaking, we suggest and we have to learn each student to be confident in the other one. For example, if we are used with Mary to play cards with blind adults, friend of ours, and we usually decide to be confident, and if you have to check if your friends say the truth, that's not very nice. But we have one game.
Unless it is, yeah.
Yeah, we have one game that is about lying. So of course you have to check if the other one is lying. But that. So yeah, just a last thing, a last word is that I don't know if you've noticed, but Ryan is not blind. He is visually impaired, and in fact visually impaired, but he is not a Braille reader. In fact. And in fact, that was interesting because at the end of the day, we made a little short interviews of all the students to have their opinion about those breaks and what about their days. And we were amazed by why Ryan said he was speaking about inclusion, but not in the same way as we usually see inclusion. So maybe we just have to listen to him.
Je peux quand même jouer avec Carla qui est brailliste, même sans que moi je sois brailliste, parce que c'est sur la brique, le nombre est marqué en noir, et du coup ça n'exclut pas les personnes non braillistes à jouer avec les personnes braillistes. Ça peut apprendre le braille tout en s'amusant avec des gens braillistes qui d'habitude jouent plus entre eux.
Yeah, so it was very nice to see that usually we speak of how can we include a Braille student, how can he play with others, and it was funny because in what Ryan says, he was happy to be part of the Braille game and the Braille community. So that was very, very nice to see that it was his way of thinking. Because
and at the beginning it was not planned that we use him for
Yeah.
the movie.
yeah.
But he asked.
Yeah, because we wanted just to make the movies with only Braille readers, but it was here. It was a little special class, but they are all included in regular classes in this high school. So just to go very quickly about, I'm not going to read all the skills because now you know that, but once again, in a mainstream curricula, we can focus generally on the cognitive aspect that constructs the number to express quantities and compare numbers and so on. But we have seen that in this activity, we have also worked on social skills, of course, creative ones, because you have to organize and to have strategy and to think of how are you going to organize to, not maybe to win the game in some time, in Perfect 10, for example, yes, but not in the battle game. And of course, emotion, because usually you are happy, you can be not very happy at the end when you lose, but you would like to try again and so on. So that's really something that is nice. And about that, about the fact that usually we focused on cognitive things in numeracy, for example, I like this sentence of Bob Talbert. He says, teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. And that's exactly what we want to do with learning through play. Of course, we have to learn how to count, and that's great, but also we have to deal with social interaction and all those kind of things. So that's why that's what is great.
Okay, so maybe it's time to go and have a look at the weather outside.
So have a nice
Have a
rest
nice
of the
weekend.
week and weekend. Bye.